Hey, Ron Holmes with Riker USA, and we're here with MIRA Tactical. I'm going to show you guys gear that I trust and I use, and it's nothing more than that. It's things that I have found on my journey, and these are some of my go-to products that I live by, and I consider them life-saving equipment. So that being said, oh, that hurt. Oh, you're good. Let's do that again. That hurt. Oh man. All right, up first this is my Wilder Tactical Minimalist Molly belt. Now, they've got a bunch of versions that you can get. This is a veteran-owned company. I've been with Josh for 16 years when he was just making holsters. Now, why do I like this belt? On the front here, they go from, you have this minimalist Molly, so you go from your typical like 1 3/4 inch belt right here, which goes onto the inner belt, but it slims down. This allows for a lot easier movement. You got an awesome little hook that they come with to put your gloves on, your keys, whatever you want. They have this super unique leg harness with a hinge, and they have a really modular pistol mounting system that works with multiple holsters, and you can add tourniquet on here and everything, or even your secondary backup knife that's built into the holster mount. Over here, you have your, these are the tall multi-fit pistol mags. So right here I have a 17 round factory Glock mags with a Hive technology +5 extender, giving me 22 rounds, holds them nicely. And then I have my 20 round, this is my 20 round Amend 2 mag that goes on here, a little shorty. And I have my med kit with the X-Force tourniquet on the bottom of the med kit. The med kit, the IFAK that's in here is a North American Rescue IFAK trauma shears. And then for when I'm teaching, this is a little radio pouch. I just stick my phone back here. Now, the other thing that they do that's awesome is it's a 2-belt system. So you can have your hook loop that you wear in your trousers, and you can pull this off and then it'll adhere to it. But this is a great way to store your belt in the event that you had to put this on rapidly. If this was on the side of the bed and you had to put this on in the middle of the night, this neoprene rubber right here is gonna be a lot more comfortable on your body and on your skin, much more comfortable than that hook loop and digging into you. So this is the Wilder Tactical Minimalist Molly. Now, another unique feature that they do is on their rifle mags, you can stack. So you could stack a tourniquet on here, you could stack another rifle mag, you could stack a pistol mag on there. Super innovative, American owned, veteran owned. Check them out. Next up is my PFM plate carrier by S&S Precision. Again, super innovative company. This is, I have worn a lot of plate carriers and I have never worn a plate carrier that is this comfortable. I'm like, it is the end all be all for me. A lot of innovative features. They use a lot of the Tegris in here, which allows it to fit so comfortably and holds its shape on your body. Unique skeletonized panels where you can add different things on them. But there's a lot of cool features on here. You have these metal quick release tabs everywhere. You have them on the shoulder pieces. You have them on the cummerbund belt. Put that back in there. You can adjust the panel to the back. On the back, you have full Molly, laser cut everywhere. I have a backpack back here. You can put whatever you need in there for your mission. You can add side armor. And you have Molly on the outside and inside of the cummerbund straps. But this is the S&S Precision. They're in Virginia Beach, and these guys are top notch. It's high quality. Again, all American made. With the Wilder and with S&S stuff, it is as advertised. But when I put this thing on, I don't have to do any modifications to it. A company that I'm really, really fond of, and before I started working with them, I'm not only the president, but I'm a client. That kind of thing is Amend 2. American-made magazines, and they have a lot of fun with them. This is the way. So this is the Beskar, the Mandalorian mag, right? And these are the new Mod 3 mags. These things are incredible. They're lighter and they're more durable. This is our Louis mag, and this is our current mag right here. But you can see these things are awesome. I love this product, and they have a lot of fun with it. In an industry that is full of black and khaki, they're bringing some flavor to it. And for those of you that know me, I like to stand out a little bit, and you'd be surprised at the price point. Next up, this is there are many rifles like it, but this one is mine. This is a Mitchell Defense short barrel 5.56. This one does have a quad rail. Most of his stuff comes with the M-LOK mounts. This is another veteran-owned company out of Glenside, Pennsylvania. This is the end-all be-all for me on rifles. We have partnered up and we are training together, and these guns are awesome. They are meant to be run dirty. The tolerances on them are incredible, but we do a few unique things with Mitchell Defense. We thermal fit the barrels to the uppers. Super accurate. The buffers and the uppers come treated with Armor Lube, which allows it to be run dirty and runs nice and smooth. And we have a proprietary buffer spring in here, which has been proven to reduce recoil by 30%. This one's got a lot of unique features on it. Well, all the Mitchell rifles come with your standard radiant ambidextrous charging handle, Geisley drop-in trigger, all ambidextrous features. And the one thing that they do have, which is nice, is they have an ambidextrous bolt release. What you see on here is the Evolver buttstock. Again, another veteran-owned company. I love innovation, and I first saw this on Instagram. I bought it, I ran it, I got 1,000 rounds through it, and I reached out to him, and the guy called me by the end of the day, and I have been just, I love this thing. Thinking out of the box, taking something that has been the standard of blade buttstock since the conception of the M16A1, and thinking about it a little bit different. They have this adjustable back piece right here, which allows you to personalize the fit. And the reason I like this is that you have your versatility, and it just fits anywhere. You're not fighting that blade, and I just think that it's a lot more comfortable. And I have just found target acquisition for me is a lot faster. They have a lot of unique features on here also. So you could do a traditional old school weaving the sling through the slots in the back. It has a QD mount built into the back right here, and then you have your adjustable part right here. This is considered a stock and not a brace. And what we also have on here, rounding out, we have the Riker version 2 sling in black multicam, which is a retention system, and we have the Riker control right here, which has added texture. It has a control button, which will allow you to activate your light or laser. It comes in a single lead light or laser option. And with the sling and the grip, it is a system where we recommend mounting behind the pistol grip and behind the Riker grip, so it's nice and tight. And because we have built-in retention in it, it allows you to push out and let this rifle sit right back in your shoulder, nice and tight. And then you have the added ability to control your device just by pressing down with your thumb and not having to reach across and do anything else. Gives you a little bit added layer of protection. We also have the Riker cable management system. So what you can see is here's the cables running up, and we give you an added layer of bump protection on your cables. That's not out there, and it's a lot cleaner looking and a lot easier to work with than zip ties, tape, and rubber bands. And we've got our Aimpoint Micro T2 on here on top of the GBRS mount. Now, this is awesome. We just started running this, and I will tell you, this whole setup right here, when you're running a MIRA gas mask, doesn't matter if it's the 6M, the 7M, or the 8M, this combination right here, this is money. You're going to get automatic sight alignment, sight picture, no difficulty, can't in your head and everything. This whole setup right here is awesome. And we've been running this pretty hard lately. This is it right here. Mitchell Defense SBR, suppressed, Riker control, aim point, and Evolver buttstock. All right, now, this is a Victos, veteran-owned company. This is a Victos sling bag. Now, I started out with their small bag, and it was too small. And then I started out with the medium size, and it was okay, and I outgrew that, and then I got this one. But I just started to find that now, because it was bigger, I put more stuff in it, and it was not as comfortable riding my bike with it. So what I did was I needed to upgrade my vehicle medical kit, because the bag in there had kind of gotten a little worn out. The Cordura had dry rotted a little bit in some areas. So this is now my vehicle med kit. And you can see it's pretty beefy. I'm not going to open it up and go through all that. But this is a product. I've actually had this bag probably almost 2 years. It's super durable. I absolutely like the Victo stuff. I think they're also an innovative company, and that's why I have no issues ordering from them and using their gear. So this is all just stuff that, it's not just like, oh yeah, hey, use our gear. No, this is stuff that I've done research on, or I've worked with these people. I've helped develop some of this stuff and continue to move forward. And this stuff is part of us. It's part of our family, and it's part of everything that I do. A question I get all the time is, hey man, what's your EDC? What's your EDC? Most of the times when this question is asked, it's referencing to the particular type of firearm that I use for concealed carry. I think that the term EDC should not be pigeonholed into just a firearm. I think you need to look at EDC in a much more broad spectrum of your EDC is everything that you take when you leave your house that day. So for instance, for me, because I'm over 40, I need these. I can't leave my house without my readers, right? My Yeti, all right? You gotta stay hydrated, okay? Always gotta have your water source. So that's part of my EDC. Knife, flashlight, cell phone, keys. These are part of your EDC. Your everyday carry is everything that you have when you leave your castle. So if I'm going on a bike ride, if I'm going on a run, a hike, you know, a truck, going in my truck, that's my EDC, whatever I have with me. You know, the two comedians, George Carlin did a skit on it years ago called A Place for My Stuff, and Adam Sandler did a song called Keys, Wallet, Phone. And they're both pretty funny, but if you look at those in the context of EDC, that's essentially what their whole comedic skit is about. If I'm going on a run, my EDC is going to be a little bit more condensed. It's going to be a little bit more compact. If I'm just going for a jog around, you know, around the loop, if I'm going for like 2-3 mile run, I'm not going to have a big backpack on me, and at a minimum phone, and always have a knife on me. I'm constantly looking for the ultimate backpack or the ultimate EDC bag that's going to allow me to be the most versatile and have all the required items I need, whatever situation arises. All right, so this is the Bando XL from Everly Stock, and I've been waiting for them to come out with this because the original Bando bag is awesome, but it was just a little bit too small. This recently just came out, and it's got 3 compartments on it. So you have your big compartment on the back, which is where I carry my, what everybody likes to call their EDC. So I have my EDC in here. I've got a Glock 43X with the Vortex Defender CCW 6 MOA, because again, my eyes have shifted a little bit. And I've got a Streamlight TLR7 illuminator on the bottom, or light, whatever you want to call it, torch, depending on what side of the pond you're on. And I have my backup, my Shield Arm 15 round mags. So let's close this up. And then this, I consider this my little admin pocket right here. This is where I'll keep business cards, a pen, and, you know, stickers for one of our businesses. And then I have the main body right here. Now the main body, to me, this is the most important part, and this is going to be my med kit. So I'll just strip it out and I'll put it all back in here later on. Right here in the top, they did us a solid. They have a nice built-in retaining band that's sewn into the top flap that fits a tourniquet perfectly. And we run the X-Force tourniquets right here, the X-Force TQ by Stat Medical. And these things are absolutely incredible. They do come in high vis and they come in black. I prefer the high vis, and why I like this is because it's so easy. A kid can use it. They could use it on themselves, or they could easily put this on an adult, which we've demonstrated. But they're also great for elderly people who might have some issues with the more common tourniquets that are on the market, which are amazing, which I still have a lot of, but getting a child or an elderly person to try to get the windlass tight enough is going to be a problem. Step in X-Force TQ, it's essentially a zip tie. So you just feed it up here, and I'll just put it on quickly for you here. It zips down, and then you have your snowboard ratchet right here. And this thing is incredible. Now, next up is one of the most important things you got to have here. If you are first on the scene and you want to help somebody out, you got to get those rubber gloves on. All right. Another good feature to have is because, you know, we do a lot with our son, but we're very active, and we typically have a couple other kids around us, but we have an adult and child pulse oximeter on here. So this is a really good thing where we can put this right on the kid's finger. Everybody knows you go to the doctor, this is what they're putting on your finger, they're getting your vitals for. This is just a great piece of information to help you start managing the patient when you are providing care and waiting for higher care and on the phone with 911. We've got a nice little wrist SAM splint, which fits perfectly in the front right here. Little 9-inch splint. These things are super versatile. And I've got my emergency North American Rescue emergency 4-inch flat trauma dressing. Super important. Space blanket. These things are inexpensive, and you guys should have tons of these. These should be in your everyday carry bags. These should be in your home medical kit, in your vehicle kit, and you should have multiple ones. The bigger the kit, you should have multiple ones. How many people are in your family? You should have 2 for each person in your family in the big medical kit that's in your vehicle and in your home. And we got another thing in here that I'm going to be completely honest. Until I became a dad, I was not aware of the magical healing powers of Band-Aids. And I will tell you what, I have seen a Band-Aid heal a broken arm. I'm just saying. You learn things. I'm an old dad, and you learn things along the way, and your son comes up to you and he's like, oh, I think I broke my arm. I need a Band-Aid. And you're like, 100%. Let me give you a Band-Aid. You put the Band-Aid on, no more broken arm. I mean, it's magic. It's incredible. You know, I come up on a car accident and I see somebody injured. I say, hey, I got a Band-Aid. Do you think that'll work? But it's kind of the joke in our house. But yeah, so that's how that happened. Now, there's this company I just recently found. Again, family-owned, American-made. My Medic. These guys are amazing. This happens to be Super Skin. Super Skin is what they call their Band-Aids. So this is a packet of Band-Aids, and this is awesome. You guys should check them out because their stuff is it's just incredible. We have a chest seal. We actually have 2 chest seals in here and something else just because of airborne viruses and all the other stuff. I do want to help somebody, but I also want to protect myself. I have my CPR shield in here, which you can pick up on My Medic as well. Another extremely helpful piece of equipment that you should have is a light. And this is a nice rechargeable light by Streamlight. Nice and flat, has a clip on it. And this thing is super durable. So you always need to have a light. And then one other piece of gear that's really good to have is some type of multi-tool that will allow you to do multiple things, right? That's why it's called a multi-tool. So along with everything that's in the EDC and everything I just showed you, one of the most important things is being a seeker, and you need to continually seek knowledge and seek training. When it comes to your medical supplies, you can have the most high-speed medical equipment in the best medical kit on the market. But if you don't know how to use it, and when you open that bag in a traumatic situation where you're trying to save a life or save your own life, and you have to search and you're looking at everything as if it's the first time you've seen it, you have set yourself up to fail. So your EDCs and your bug out bags, those are specific things, but let's talk about something that you use all the time, and that's your means of transportation. We have added the Rescue Me seatbelt cutters to every seatbelt in all of our vehicles. We chose the Rescue Me seatbelt cutter because it was the one that my son could use easily when he was 4 years old. We got a few of the rescue devices that were on the market. We bought them and we got some seatbelt webbing, and we strapped my son to the chair when he was 4 years old, and we had him try to remove himself from that. The Rescue Me seatbelt cutter was the easiest one for him. Again, an American-made product, and they are awesome, and they're pretty affordable. You can buy these things in a 12 and a 20 pack, so you can give them as stocking stuffers. But we have them mounted on every single seatbelt in all of our vehicles. Now, you'll see a lot of people out there, they'll put it like, they'll hang it from their rearview mirror, or they'll put it in their glove box. But if you're in a car accident and you're in a vehicle rollover, you aren't going to get to your glove box. So what we sat there, and I'm just constantly trying to improve my posture. I took those little Velcro straps and the key ring attachment that comes with the Rescue Me seatbelt cutter, and we wrapped them around the seatbelt. So when you put the seatbelts on in all of our vehicles, that seatbelt cutter sits in line with your, pretty much in line, your center line with your sternum. So now, in the event of a car accident, depending on if my right arm was injured, I could still get it with my left arm, and vice versa. You could get it with each arm. Another thing that I have in all of our doors and all of our vehicles, we have cans of Sabre Pepper Gel. I use Sabre Pepper Gel because that is the brand of OC that I have been sprayed with. I know what it does. I trust that brand because it is absolutely miserable. Now, why do I have pepper gel in my doors? We have the pepper gel secured in our doors because it's non-lethal. In the event that I came up to an unruly crowd or somebody trying to get in, non-lethal is the best way. Just because you have it, just because you have a carry permit, just because you have constitutional carry and you're confident in your abilities to carry concealed, it does not mean you need to use it. You have to approach this with critical thinking and critical response. Somebody could be having a bad day, somebody could be making a bad decision, but regardless, you should be able to take that breath, get out of the red, according to Cooper's color chart, get back down to a middle color orange, and make a good decision. Having that right there accessible right by the door, you could crack the window and you could spray it out. Just the smell of that getting out there, just getting a little bit of the gel or the spray, whichever you like, on their skin is going to be a deterrent and is going to create a gap. It's going to move people away. Now, I actually did learn that technique at a school I went to back in 2003, and it was a technique implemented by the SAS when they were in an area that they weren't supposed to be in, and their car had got surrounded, and they had cracked the window, and they had sprayed a whole can of fog out the window, and out the other window, the guy shot a couple rounds in the air, and it made the mob disperse, and they were allowed to drive away, and they're still alive because of that. So this is why we have it in each door. You shouldn't just rely on just the driver to solely be able to do it. The other people in the vehicle should be assets, and this is how your family should approach living that prepared lifestyle. Everybody in the vehicle needs to be on the same sheet of music. Everybody needs to understand how to use a seatbelt cutter. Everybody needs to know how to use protective measures to get people off your vehicle in the event you made a wrong turn into a peaceful protest that turned into a violent riot. So your equipment is only going to be as good as your ability to use it. CPR and basic first aid, they are a great foundation for you to start with, but they are not even close to taking you to where you need to be. You want to find something that correlates with your medical kit. North American Rescue runs amazing training. D-Day Response down in Florida, they run amazing training. I stand by both of these companies. They also sell amazing equipment that will serve you and it will not fail you. You want to look for a Stop the Bleed class. You want to look for something that is also going to correlate with your medical kit. Now, I want to tell you this too. Typically, the higher end, the quality medical kits that are on the market aren't going to sell their products online. You have to go to their website direct or a supporting agency. If you go to CVS and you go to their first aid aisle and you buy a Wilderness medical kit, you have Band-Aids and aspirin and Neosporin. That's not what we're looking for. You're looking for something that's going to be able to sustain life in the event of a traumatic emergency and you're far away from a higher medical authority. Your medical kit should accommodate the number of people that are in your family. So if you have 3 people, you want to have a minimum of 3 of everything for whatever that device is. So 3 tourniquets, 3 space blankets, 3 sets of CPR masks. Just go on that. Now, your med kit for your vehicle stays in the vehicle. Your med kit for the home stays in the home. Your med kit for your bike, you need to have these so this is where, again, we get back to EDC, which is scalable, small to large. Think about these things, make intelligent purchases. This stuff is expensive, it can add up. So make a list of things that you already have, make a list of things that you need and prioritize them, thinking about what you think is the most important, and then just chip away at it. But I'll tell you, brands I recommend and training companies I recommend, My Medic, D-Day Response, and North American Rescue. You check those 3 places out and that'll get you started. Are we cussing or not cussing?
You cuss.
I think one of the biggest things that the industry could do as a whole is to stop shit talking. Is to be positive. If there's gear out there that you don't like and you haven't used and you haven't actually put it to the test, then you really don't have the grounds to stand on it. I have clients ask me for gear recommendations all the time, and I will give them a fair assessment. I was like, I have not used it or I have used it. If I have not used it, I'll break it down. I will investigate it for them, and I'll see if anybody I know is using it. I will do what I can to help them make the most intelligent purchase that they can. In the industry, I think you get a lot of of, well, who's using it, who's doing this, and it's buzz. You know, it's like, oh, well, these guys aren't using it, so maybe I don't want to use it. I don't want somebody to make fun of me for using it, or I don't want to do this, or I don't know anybody that's using it, so it's got to be stupid, or, well, you just copied this person and you just did that. You know, as an inventor and as a business person, a lot of times, you know, a lot of the feedback comes from people who have done neither, who have never owned a business and never created a product, and don't understand the steps and the process that come along with taking something that was in your head and then became a sketch on paper and then became a patent and then became a prototype and then became an actual product and then became a company and became something that people can order and purchase, right? There is a lot that goes into this process, and it's fascinating. But a lot of the industry is, a lot of the people that work for these bigger companies and smaller companies and all that are employees. They're not creators. You know, they're not the innovators. They're the end user, which is awesome because that's who you're making the product for. But I think that we should, in the industry, we think we all need to like work on harmony, and we all need to work on, you know, to quote Rodney King, can't we all just get along? And I think that if you have a problem with a piece of gear, or you don't like an individual that's promoting it or using it, that's a personal problem. You should not allow, especially if you are a person of influence in industry, you should not be malicious with that and let it influence other people, because just because it's not good for you doesn't mean it's not good for somebody else. That's kind of my stance on that. All right, so we talked about a lot of things in this episode. We talked about EDC, we talked about bug out bags, your vehicle, and we talked about gear that I trust and I rely on. I consider it all life-saving equipment. You know, the one thing that we you know, in the military we were all taught is never fall in love with your plan. All right, your plan is going to change. You know, you have to have a plan, even if it's a bad plan. When that plan changes, that plan fails, no worries, continue to move forward and make a new plan. That's the stuff that's going to keep you safe. That's the stuff that's going to keep you alive. It's going to keep you and your family and your friends moving forward and keep you and your friends safe and alive. Thank you for joining us. Train safe, train smart, train with purpose, be a good human. See you on our next episode.